being here. I think we're going to start a practice from a seated position today. So whether that's seated cross-legged or on your knees in lightning pose, any of that. But let's go ahead and make our way up. And once we get there, we just want to come to a tall spine and just letting our spine lift up all the way into the back of the neck. So when that happens, you're naturally going to feel your chin start to tuck in a little bit. Your heart is going to lift slightly. Just start to feel your breath in your body. For two more breaths, see if we can get a sense of our bones, our muscles, our skin, our heartbeat, our breath. Just feeling all the way down the body. And when that second breath is ended, we can go ahead and open our eyes, and we'll start with some neck rolls. So as always, we can drop our chin to our chest, and maybe it's going to feel best for us to just make some half circles rolling from one shoulder to the other. But if anyone feels okay to make some full neck rolls, that might be a good option as well. And please allow yourself to go at your own pace. If there's places that you want to pause and breathe into, allow yourself to do that. Let's go ahead and make whatever final movements that we need to so we can feel even on both sides. And then beginning to lift your gaze up to center. We're going to take a seated forward fold. So with an inhalation, let's breathe ourselves up out of our waist. And then as we exhale, just walk yourself straight forward over your legs. And for a yin practice, this is going to be really relaxed. We just want to let all our muscles soften and release, and just watch your breath move. And in this posture, as well as all of our other ones, just notice what's happening here. So for this one, we are probably feeling our spine getting long. We're feeling our back muscles and shoulders releasing. We're probably feeling our hips start to open and relax. Let's send one more inhalation into our back body and exhale, soften really, really deep. And as we breathe in again, let's lift ourselves up, and we're going to do the same posture, but switch our legs. So whichever leg is in front right now, we're going to switch sides. It should feel kind of unnatural to sit this way. You're probably doing it right if that's the case. And once again, we'll breathe in and lift out of our waist first, and then exhale. Walk yourself forward. Just allow your whole body to melt down towards the floor. Asking yourself, how deeply can you relax? And one more inhalation into the back body. Exhale, really let go, super deep. And then breathing ourselves back up to a tall spine. We'll start to unwind our legs and bring those straight out in front of us. And take a shoulder opener. So to start, let's take our right arm behind our back in between our shoulder blades. We're pretty close to it. We're going to relax straight back onto that arm. And if we lower back onto our arm like this and it feels really painful or uncomfortable, you can put a bend in your right leg, roll to your left side, and take that arm out from behind you. Just let your body soften. Feel your breath. then to come out of this, for some of us, we're going to feel comfortable enough to just round straight back up to seated. So if that's the case for you, go for it. If we need to make a few extra movements, we can put a bend in the right leg, just like we mentioned before. Push yourself towards your left side. That arm comes out from behind you. And then lifting back up to seated. And once you're back up to the top, we'll do that on the opposite side. So taking the left arm behind the back in between the shoulder blades, or pretty close to. And once again, relax straight back onto that arm. Just melt. Your bones, your muscles, your skin, all relax. Just like the opposite side, if some of us are going to feel strong enough to just roll straight up to seated, that's great. If not, push yourself onto your right side body. This time, that left arm comes out from behind you, and then lifting up to seated. Making our way into a butterfly posture. And there's a couple different ways we can do this one. If we are really open through our hips and our back body and feel comfortable to bring your feet in towards your sit bones and relax forward, that's great. Do that. If you're like me, though, and your knees are really high off the ground and you don't get very far forward, it's probably going to be best to take your feet out a ways, and that's going to help you relax down. So just find that comfortable spot for you. For this style of practice, we really don't want to pull ourselves deeper into the pose. We just want to soften. We're just watching the breath and noticing what we feel. last inhalation, fill your back body. One more exhale to really let go. And then breathing yourselves up to a tall spine. Let's make our way onto our back body. We'll hug the knees into the chest, rock side to side. Just giving ourselves a back massage on the floor. And beginning to coast to a stop. Let's take a knee down twist. Our arms come to a big letter T out of the sides. Our knees are going to drop over to the left. And our gaze is going to go out towards the right. If it feels more comfortable, you can even extend your legs straight out to the side, which I think feels pretty nice. That's something you can try if you want. You certainly don't have to. And then relax. Noticing how with each exhalation, we go deeper into this twist. When this next breath is ended, let's take our time to switch our legs up and over to the right. Allow yourself to shift and adjust, whatever you need to do so you can really soften into this. If it feels okay on the neck to look out towards the left, go for it. If that doesn't feel good, don't do it. Completely release. From here, instead of unwinding onto our back body, let's take our left arm and close it over to the right, and then make whatever movements we need to come back up to seated. And we'll move right into deer posture. So let's start with our left leg at a right angle to the front of us, and our right leg is going to go to an angle off to the side. And just walk yourself straight forward over the left leg. Just knowing as well, if we go closer to the knee, that's a little less of a stretch. It's going to deepen the more we go over towards the foot. But again, we really don't want to force ourselves in that direction. If we can comfortably soften over that way, you can try that. Just one more deep, relaxed breath. And then taking our time to lift ourselves back up. We'll take another twist from here. So both hands are going to come to the outside of the left hip. And we can walk ourselves as far back into a twist as we feel comfortable to go. Maybe it's a little, maybe it's a lot. Either way is perfect. And for some folks, it might feel nice to just stay here, lifted up onto your arms. But if you'd like to, you can even lower to your elbows and forearms. So you can experiment with that and see what feels best. And then again, just soften into it. Next breath in, let's unwind. Coming back to center. So this one's easy to kind of get lost in the instructions here. We're going to not move our legs at all. They're staying right where they're at, and this is not going to feel like the most natural position. We're just going to turn our torso towards the right and relax forward. Unless you're missing some ribs, you're not going to get very far forward. So that's okay. Don't worry about that. It doesn't really matter where our hands end up in this posture either, just whatever feels right to you. And again, let's start to lift up and unwind. Just like I mentioned before, we're still not going to switch our legs yet. We're leaving them right how they are. Both hands are going to come behind us, and we're going to relax all the way down towards the floor. We should start to feel a stretch on the outside of the right leg through the IT band. So just carefully, mindfully make your way down. If we want to deepen this stretch at all through the outside of the right leg, you can even take your left foot on top of the right knee. You certainly don't have to do that if it's not comfortable, but it's something to try if you want to. And again, just relax. Where can you soften even more? And beginning to make whatever movements we need to, so we can come back up to seated, and we'll do all of that opposite side. So starting with our deer posture, we're going to take our right leg forward this time, to a right angle, and the left leg at an angle off to the side. Take your time to adjust, and when you're ready, relax forward over the right leg. Feeling one more full breath. And then starting to lift ourselves up, we'll take our twist on the opposite side, both hands to the outside of the right hip, and walk yourself as far back as you feel okay to do. We lower down onto our elbows and forearms on the opposite side. You'll probably want to do that here as well. You can do the spine twist that feels best, and then let go. As our exhalation ends, let's unwind, and we're going to swing our torso over towards the left and relax forward. Again, our legs didn't switch at all from that position. We still have the right leg in front and the left leg to the side. Inhale to rise. Exhale, hands come behind you. Carefully make your way onto your back body. So we should start to feel that stretch to the outside of the left leg this time. Allow yourself to adjust if you need to. If you want to deepen the stretch, you can take the right foot on the on top of the left knee. Again, just an option. Take our way into child's pose. Starting to lift up and unwind. Whatever movements that takes is perfect. Coming onto your hands and knees. Your knees go out about shoulder distance apart. Sink your seat back and relax forward. Taking one last inhalation, filling your hips and back body. And our hands come under our shoulders, starting to lift up. We're going to move into frog pose. So we'll need to lift our seat. This time you're actually going to take your knees out as wide as you possibly can. So if they're as wide as they can go out already, that's great. But if we can take them out even wider, our feet are going to turn out to the side. And maybe we stay right here, which is totally fine. Maybe we lower down to our elbows and forearms. Maybe we even sink our seat back just a little bit, just gentle. Lynn, do you have the time?
12:44.
34?
12:44.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. Hands begin to come underneath the shoulders. We'll lift up. I always think it's easier to come out of this pose by bringing my feet together first, and then that helps me bring my knees in back to center. But the different way is comfortable for you, go for it. Let's tuck our toes under, lift your knees, lift your hips, and then walk your hands all the way back to a forward fold. And this is one of those postures I always think it feels really nice to kind of shift and move and feel into. If that's the case for you, go for it. Or if it feels best to just relax at center, that's good too. And if we're tight through the low back and hamstrings, please allow your knees to bend. And before we come out of this one, it might feel good to shake your head like you're saying no and yes a couple times. And then coming back to center. Let's take this to a squat position. You'll heel toe out about hip distance apart. Your feet were probably pretty close to there already. Turn your feet out slightly and sink your seat down into this. If we feel comfortable to bring our hands to prayer, that's great. If that doesn't feel so good, just leave your hands down to the floor. Also, some of us are probably going to be on the balls of our feet instead of flat-footed. And if that's the case for you, don't feel like you need to force yourself down to a flat-footed position. Just 2 more breaths to fill your hips and back body. And as those breaths come to an end, let's bring our hands down to the floor. And we might take one knee and then the other down to the ground to come onto our hands and knees once again. And we'll make our way into a thread the needle position. So just like child's pose, our knees are going to go about hip or shoulder distance apart. We're going to relax our upper body forward. This time the left hand is going to go straight out. The right arm is going to come underneath, palm face up, and we relax down to the right shoulder. So if we feel ourselves lifted up onto our elbows and forearms, we want to twist under even more, all the way down to the shoulder. Let's do this on the opposite side. Left hand under the left shoulder. We'll start to lift ourselves up and unwind. And this time, the right arm extends out and the left arm goes underneath. Again, we want to rotate all the way down to the shoulder, not to the elbow and forearm. once again, we'll start to lift up and unwind. And just one last thing before Shavasana, let's take a few cat and cow postures. So knees underneath your hips, wrists underneath your shoulders. As we inhale, we drop the stomach down, exaggerate the arch in your spine. Exhale, round up through the back body. And just move back and forth at your own pace. I like to make some other movements and feel into the muscles in my back here. If it feels good to shift and move your hips, you can do that as well. Just a couple more times. And then carefully, mindfully, let's make whatever movements we need to come either flat onto our back in Shavasana. If there's another posture that you're familiar with that you want to end your practice in, that's great, go for it. But if not, our legs are long, our spine is long, all the way into the back of the neck. We're tucking our shoulder blades underneath of us. And remembering as well, this is just as, if not more important than any other posture we do. This is how we really align our spine. Still feeling the breath in the body. Ask yourself if you can relax a little bit more. Just let go. And we'll start to bring some movement back to the body, just allowing your head to move side to side. It might feel good to make some ankle rotations through the wrists, through the hands. And I might be getting pulled over right now. We might even end our practice followed by a big wake up stretch. Head inhale deep as you reach. I apologize, folks.
How you doing, sir?
Good.
What's going on?
I'm teaching a yoga class via Zoom.
Are you a teacher here?
Not at this facility specifically.
Okay. Did you have permission to be here?
No, I just came over to the facility. Let me end this. I think we're done right
Okay.
now. Okay. Okay, folks, I appreciate you all being here. With that, I apologize. Let you all go. Remember, there's some practice throughout your day. Thank you for being here. Namaste.